Indeed, among men of this world, there has been much controversial discourse as to whether or not the beings designated as spacemen, or people of other planets, really exist. By scientific theory, the world has long been informed that there cannot possibly be life as we know it on other planets in this system or in other systems. But in the first place, theory really proves nothing, and scientists are recognizing that yesterday's theories apply only to yesterday, not to today or tomorrow. In the second place, such denial is blasphemy, for it is limiting the Creator in His infinite completeness. There are those of us who know the truth that inhabitants of other worlds are among us, coming and going, having learned our ways and fitted themselves into our society so that they are inconspicuous. For too many people yet disbelieve there are other human beings outside the realm of the planet Earth. It is urgent that certain truths must be given to the world through contactees who are willing to serve. We have been in contact with them person to person in the physical. These meetings have nothing whatsoever to do with spiritualistic, psychic, or supernatural phenomena. When I say there are those of us, I refer to those of officialdom in the various governments of this earth who have been contacted, but as yet refuse to make any public admission. Skepticism and ridicule are partly the reason for their silence. I tell you plainly that these people of other planets live and have their being just as you and I, and are fundamentally no different. The apparent differences lies in that they have a deeper understanding of the cosmos and are more highly evolved in comparison to us, mentally, physically, and spiritually, having developed from bondage into freedom, freedom from bondage of life in the darkness of illusion, freedom from bondage to a human body, freedom from bondage to their respective planets. By this I mean that to them there is no death as we know it. To them it is a progress from one life to the next. And they are not bound to their planets, for they are free to travel interplanetary, having gained the knowledge and wisdom that has given them the efficiency and the power. Therefore I say to you, begin now to think, for thinking is a creative process. Has it not been the breaking away from old accepted beliefs of mankind that has brought all the advancement in knowledge man of earth has ever had? Is it not to those who had the courage to study and learn the truth, regardless of what others believed, that we owe all that we have today that makes this a better world to live in than it was centuries ago? Remember, there is no end to knowledge, and though for the past 10 years man has not advanced spiritually one iota, spiritual advancement now lies before him. Man's thinking needs spiritual activity, for man is not only a material being, but a spiritual being, and the attainment of true spiritual knowledge is one of the most important things in his life. Indeed, if mankind is to survive and progress to higher levels, a new way of thinking is essential. It is the only way to divert coming disaster in his life, for the battle between the forces of darkness and light is underway whether man has yet become aware of it or not. Nevertheless, thinking people are beginning to realize that we of earth must learn and submit to the truth that harmony and peace are more desirable than destruction. Let us turn back the pages of the calendars to a day in the early part of 1953. To begin my story, I can only mention a miracle. The wonderful things that happen to us are not miracles in the ordinary definition of the word, but the working of infallible laws we do not understand. That saved my life. It was a miracle at that time because I did not clearly understand what had happened. My lack of knowledge veiled the truth that was waiting to unfold into reality. Then it would no longer be a magic mystery to me. I dared tell no one, for I was certain that to anyone else it would be a ridiculous impossibility. And besides, I had pledged a promise to the Creator on this occasion. Months rolled by, the miracle locked within my heart, not even my family, knowing how close I had come to departing by transition. And never had any light been shed on it that would explain it. Later in 1953, and through my eldest daughter's profound interest in a most remarkable person she had seen and heard at Palomar Gardens Cafe in 1952, when my sister had stopped there on a Sunday drive. My family and I went to meet Mr. George Adamski. He had blazed a trail of truth for all to follow who will. We listened to this crusader of the New Age speak of interplanetary ships and people of our sister planets, and strangely enough this possibility did not seem at all impossible. We accepted most all that he said with scarcely a doubt. Perhaps you'll concede that we were being too gullible, but this was no little thing to be lightly tossed aside. This was something that seemed to be so much a part of our deeper selves that no argument served to move it. It was as if this were something we had long known, like a memory so far off it seemed pigeonholed in the dim recesses of the past, and it was now being recalled for us. From then on we were frequent visitors at the gardens, friends often accompanying us. It was as though a magnet drew us there again and again, and we were intellectually hungry for more knowledge of this vast subject men of Earth dubbed flying saucers. Each individual who is actually in contact with people from other planets has a given duty to perform in service to mankind and to the Creator, being free to accept or reject it. Each duty, as it is fulfilled, will ultimately complete a picture which now seems to be a jigsaw puzzle. It will be the most wondrous picture man has ever beheld with mortal eyes. Mr. Adamski's greatest task as a selected emissary on this earth has been to alert our present civilization to the seriousness of our world's situation, and to warn of the vast peril we face, of the change that is taking place in this solar system, that we may help ourselves and our fellow men. Other practical men, also with their feet on the ground, have been quietly striving to find some way to avert coming disaster, and have found none. In turning back the pages of history, it appears that man has proven his total incompetence to direct and govern himself other than by destructive means. 2,000 years of wars, books and sermons, yet the world knows no peace. The solution lies within the heart of man, whose paramount and most urgent need is guidance and counsel from beings of higher authority, knowledge, and wisdom, who can well assist us out of the chaos into which we are slipping. For no scientist or political or religious leader has yet devised a formula to show us how to live together in peace. There are men who are seeking, there are men crying out for God and peace, and they are finding neither. Chapter 2, Time of Trouble. During 1953, and through a tape recording Mr. George Adamski had played for us, I became reacquainted with Mr. Truman Bethlehem, then of Redondo Beach, California, who had several contacts with a scow from the planet Clarion. I had first met Mr. Bethlehem in 1948 when we were both employed on a construction job under the jurisdiction of the International Union of Operating Engineers. Now, when he returned to Overton, Nevada, in the anticipation of a promised 12th contact, and due to our mutual interest in flying saucers, he invited me to join him. It was through the interference of others, the details of which I shall omit, that this hoped-for contact did not occur at this time. However, after months of long waiting, his faith in a promised return was, he has now disclosed, rewarded in December 1955. I will add that while in Overton, and due to observing too strictly custom and social convention of our Earth people, I too missed a contact. No one told me that I had missed, but deep within my being I felt it. After returning home I called on Mr. Adamski, and without my having so much as mentioned this feeling to him, he made a flat statement out of a clear sky, with a twinkle in his eyes. So you missed your contact while in Nevada. He never explained how he knew, but my hunch was confirmed. I suppose I should have been greatly disappointed that I had missed, but the disappointment I did experience was not long endured, and as the days passed by,